Coming up inside the green room, the team is rolling. I have more Greg Popovich stories, and Philly legend Coach Dawn Staley gives advice on what we should do with our all-star teammate, and so much more. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford. You could find us every week on the SiriusXM Podcast Network, and obviously you could also find us on NBC Sports Philadelphia for select episodes. On today's episode, Philadelphia legend, NCAA champion, Olympic gold medal head coach, Dawn Staley joins us on the show. She talks about her journey, and you know she chimed in on Ben Simmons. But first, we got to get to the Philadelphia 76ers. Danny, you guys are playing well. Yes, there was that loss to the Washington Wizards, but for the most part, that win against the Miami Heat, very impressive, against the Boston Celtics. And you guys are doing this with guys in and out. You're in and out right now. What is the overall vibe with the team, especially as you go into the trading deadline?
It's been good, man. So to win 8 out of the last 10 games, it's pretty amazing, especially some big ones. Boston, Miami, end of a road trip, an afternoon game in Washington was a tough one. I said with bodies out, I think we kind of spoiled ourselves with winning that one in Miami with low bodies. But with me and Matisse being out, it's very tough. We got Tyrese to guard Bradley Beal. We got guys out of position and guarding positions or people that they're not normally used to guarding. So overall, the morale is great. Everybody's positive. Everybody's enjoying it. Everybody's understanding their role and understanding, guys are in and out, and they're just excited to see still at this point of how good we'll look or be when everybody's healthy. And we have not yet to have that yet. Shake is still out the lineup, Matisse now, myself. So we're trying to figure out, hopefully within a week, without any COVID cases, that everybody's back healthy and gives us a little glimpse of what the team could be before All-Star. We get at least, a couple weeks before the break to see what we can do, and hopefully everybody comes back healthy after the break. So, and that's the most important thing, being healthy, and after the break, building a rhythm.
I want to talk to you about the KD injury and how that could impact your team's race to get into the number one seed. But you did mention trying to get healthy, trying to get consistent as a team. I know you had an interview with a Sixers beat reporter before the season started, and I think you said one of the biggest challenges that you're going to have this season was forcing yourself to not play when you want to, and dealing with that. Because last year you played 70 out of 72, and I'm like, bro, you don't need to play those games, but that's not how you feel.
That's just me, man.
So how do you deal with it now? Because obviously you're dealing with the hip right now.
Yeah, that's just me. I just, if I'm healthy to play, I'm going to play, and if I'm even close to it, I don't like to miss any games. But as you're getting older, you got to be smarter. It takes a little bit longer to heal, and I think the hamstring thing was a thing. I think I came back too soon, and it became a thing again. So that's why I set out sometimes. And the hip thing now is becoming a thing that I have to kind of just take my time with it and be patient. But I think the recent thing that has happened will hopefully help it. I think things will get looser. We're taking the right paths. It's going in the right direction. So once I get back now, I think everything will be in place the way it should be, and the body will be strong and healthy.
Yeah, I know it must hurt the competitor in you, but obviously all Sixers fans remember how the playoffs ended last year, and the numbers show that you're very much a net positive on the court. So if they can have you on the court for the playoffs, that would be nice. When we come back, we're inside the green room. Danny might not want to be a coach, but he's going to get convinced. Philadelphia legend Dawn Staley joins us in the next segment of Inside the Green Room. Be right back. Back with more Inside the Green Room with Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford on the SiriusXM Podcast Network on NBC Sports Philadelphia as well. Danny, I'm going to list off some accomplishments here.
Okay.
This is pretty impressive. Three-time Olympic gold medalist as a player. Won gold in the Olympic Games for the first time as a coach this past summer. 6-time WNBA All-Star, 2-time Naismith Player of the Year, national championship as a coach back in 2017. Dawn Staley joins us, reigning from Philly on 25th and Diamond. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I want to play on Olympic team. I never get the opportunity to. So hopefully when I'm old or the next couple of years, I'll get my opportunity. But that list is amazing, Coach. But congratulations on everything. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
One of those things when you have a guest on, Danny, you also try to find a connective fiber. So Danny has been telling me on and on and on. He's been telling every guest that he doesn't want to be a coach when he's done playing. Dawn thought the same thing as she was playing, getting all these awards and putting in the work on the court. She thought she didn't want to coach. Next thing you know, she's coaching national championship teams. Dawn, can you take Danny through your journey of not wanting to be a coach and then all of a sudden getting there?
I just didn't see myself being responsible for like 18 to 22-year-olds that you're responsible. Like if something goes down, I'm the first person that people are going to call. And when I got into coaching, I'm like 29, 30 years old. And the players were closer to my age and I was actually younger than their parents. So I would say I was frightened of that part of it. I wasn't frightened of the basketball because that's the easiest part. I was just frightened that I'm a worst case scenario type of thinker. So I didn't want to jump in and then have something go wrong with someone's daughter, and then I just didn't have enough life experiences to want to dive into that until I got challenged. And then once I got challenged, that is the very thing that drew me in. Like I didn't want to be a coach, but when that AD said, and it was the late great Dave O'Brien, he was the AD at Temple. He would go in between a friend who was on staff at the athletic department at Temple. He would ask me, I'm like, no. They kept asking me, and I was like, no. I'm 29 years old. Like I am basically in the prime of my life and my basketball career. And then they kept asking, and then the Final Four was in Philly, and I was with the 2000 Olympic team. So he asked me to come talk to him, and I'm just like, okay, cool. He asked me two questions that really resonated with me. One was, can you lead? And I'm just like, this guy this guy got me here in his office. Like, I'm usually the captain. I'm a point guard. So, I have some type of leadership skills. I'm 29, 30 years old. So, and I've only played basketball and I've only been in a team setting. So I thought that was, I think he used that to just kind of pull me in. And then he asked me, can you turn Temple's women's basketball team around? Whoa, I wasn't expecting that. And that I took as a challenge. And from there, I didn't sign on the dotted line, but he had me thinking at that point. And then, 2 weeks later I took the job, and it's really my second skin. It's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Wow. Yeah, Doc keeps telling me the same. He goes, I know you're going to coach because you keep saying you never coach.
Yep.
I just don't see my mind changing much because I believe I can handle some of those things. The question is, do I want to? And I've seen so many egos. I've seen so many things go wrong in college. And I don't know if I want to be able to be responsible for that when I'm done. I think it's too stressful for me. I feel like coaching might be more stressful than playing. So for me, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go in that realm or that atmosphere when I'm done playing. I'd rather do like something else a little lighthearted on the sidelines, but I know I'm capable. I know I could do it. It's just, I don't know if I want to deal with the egos or being responsible for some of the people that I've been around or people like myself, be able to try to coach them, get them in line. So it's a tough situation, but I do love the game. I do see myself as pretty good at it because even when I'm sideline now and not playing, the guys come to me, ask me what they see, what's going on, and actually listen and respond to me, which is, a cool side of it. But dealing with that on a day-to-day is rough. I tip my hats off to you coaches because I don't know if I can do it.
So Dawn, during the off seasons, I've been with Danny recently, and we've kind of talked about contract structures, things that are out there in the market. Danny, you said you didn't want to be a coach, but Dawn is signed to a 7-year, $22 million contract, highest paid Black coach in the country. I'm just saying, if it makes money, it makes sense.
Congratulations, Coach, once again. And if you get those type of offers, it's hard to say no, especially if you're good at it and you're very confident in yourself. So yeah, I shouldn't say never, but if that's the that opportunity that offers on the table to coach, a great situation, a great group of young kids that are eager to learn and actually respect me. That's the thing that I don't want to have to fight for my respect or fight for my locker room or fight for my players' egos. And then, of course, one player might not like you, get fired. You have a great year and get fired the next year in our league. It's such an unstable thing. I don't know if I'm prepared for that. But I said those deals that are out there now, it's great, amazing deals. I'm happy. Dawn, Becky, I just saw her. She was my coach, so it's great to see everybody, especially on the women's side, flourish the way they are.
Danny, it hasn't been framed the right way for you. Once it's framed the right way, you'll get it. I mean, now when you talk about it, it's always like, no. Somebody's going to frame it the right way, and then they're going to suck you into it. And once you're in. Like you're going to dive in.
As you grew up in Philly, would you have imagined that you would be able to go this far from playing to coaching and winning at the level that you had to the point where you represent the country?
No. I mean, I it's weird to say this, but I've never been like a goal setter. Like never. Like actually the only two things that I wanted to do, because I grew up in North Philly, in the projects in North Philly, and the only time I seen women play on television was in the Final Four, like the national championship, and then in the Olympic Games. And as a kid growing up where I grew up, that's what I wanted. Like that's what I wanted to do. And I didn't fast track it. I kept grinding, and I was able to check those things off. And then again, like someone framed the coaching thing, and I'm just like, oh wow. And I was able to do both, play in the WNBA and coach at the same time. So I had the best of both worlds, and I truly enjoyed it. But once I got into coaching led to other, like you're a competitor. It led to other aspirations. Like once I'm in, I'm like, okay, well, I want to win the national championship. Okay, well, I want to be an Olympic coach. Okay, well, I want to be the Olympic coach. And all of these things come out of you just being around the game and wanting to be the very best at, your passion and your craft.
That leads me into my next question. You've done so much and accomplished so much on the women's side of things. Do you see yourself ever transitioning over to the men's side, either in college or the pros, or doing something on the men's side?
I never had any inclination to, there's any ounce of me just that wanted to coach.
Smart.
On the pro level, like really on the pro level, like not even the WNBA.
Okay.
And then not even in the NBA. And I will say this, until like I did interview for the Portland Trail Blazers job. I knew I probably wasn't going to get it, but I was like, heck, let me just see what it's about. I took notes. Because if there's another woman that would want to be in that situation, I got all my notes. I'm going to tell them exactly what questions were asked. And but it was intriguing because the questions they asked, really, you don't think about as a college coach. Like you guys have access to so much stuff that is, my imagination doesn't even take me to all the stuff that the resources that you have on the NBA level. Like they're big in the analytics, and we have a small sample of it, but I think the whole league, is based on, where somebody is best shooting a basketball and pushing them off of that position. And, so we don't really think about those things on this level. So it just opened up just more for me as a coach that I can bring to my position now. I don't think we have enough bodies that could, that can capture all the information, but it's cool just to know one or two things that you can add to help your program, and you can help young people, move to where they want to go as far as being a professional athlete.
I'd be remiss to not ask you, Dawn, since you are a Sixers fan, what is your take not just, what is your take on the Ben Simmons situation?
Ben's got to go. Ben's got to go. Ben's got to go. I mean, Ben's not happy. If he's not happy, he doesn't feel like you got to go. We got to get something for him now. We got to get something big for him. Like, I mean, he's been great. Like, you know, he's a stat filler. But we got to get something in return.
Which is tough to do. It's tough to find something that can fill those shoes.
It's tough.
But a lot of guys have got an opportunity. Tyrese, for one, has been having an amazing year.
Yep.
And it's been great to see him flourish and you know, in his second year become who he's become. And he's not many kids can handle that position or what he's being thrown at. But Tyrese is one of those kids who's mentally, you know, tough and strong enough to be able to stay, you know, stable emotionally and take on the criticism and also the load offensively and defensively. Last night, run around guarding Bradley Beal. It's not an easy assignment, but he's been doing an amazing job. But yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens by the deadline of what may come. And if it doesn't happen, then we'll see if he gets back in the lineup.
Dawn, I think us as basketball fans are very much thankful that you joined us today. And I think the city of Philadelphia has to be ecstatic about how you represented them, not just as a basketball player, but as a person. So we appreciate your time. And for those listening, you better go ahead, subscribe. Danny, what they got to do, subscribe,
rate, subscribe, review. There you go.
There you go. So read, rate, subscribe, review to the NETLIFE podcast. Go ahead, check it out. Back with more Inside the Green Room. Danny Green, Harrison Sanford on the SiriusXM Podcast Network, also on NBC Sports Philadelphia. We're going to go around the league a little bit, Danny, and you know what we do. We try to find out why you were trending over the past week. Found a tweet from a popular Laker account, which I think you blocked at one point during your tenure there. It reads, yeah, more than likely. It has had over 20,000 or 25,000 likes, things of that nature. It was a very popular tweet. After watching this Lakers team, there's some things I need to get off my chest. Ellipsis, ... I am sorry, Danny Green. I am sorry, KCP. I am sorry, Kuzma, and I am sorry, JaVale McGee. I'm also bringing that up because we saw this report earlier this week, or today on Tuesday while we're taping this, from Sam Amick and The Athletic, that Frank Vogel, if the Lakers did not win Monday night against the Utah Jazz, could have been fired, likely to be fired. And there's a thought or belief that he could be fired any moment now if they go through another poor stretch. Obviously, we saw the Magic Johnson tweet calling out their effort. There's a lot of things going on in Lakerland, and I must say, it must feel kind of nice to not feel nice, but at least you left there when the getting was good.
Yeah,
the turmoil is crazy right now.
For sure. I appreciate the positive tweets. Usually the trending is a negative aspect, but this one's a good one. I appreciate the apology. I accept. But yeah, Coach Vogel, man, I like Coach. He was great, man. And this is one of the reasons why I don't want to coach. Because, you know, he's been dealt, I wouldn't say a bad hand, but, you know, it's a situation to where it's hard to figure out, especially with injuries, COVID. He doesn't have some of his best players in the lineup yet. And he's getting blamed for a lot of things that I don't think are his fault at all. It doesn't make any sense. Poor stretches. I mean, hey, they do what they do. Is their business. They make up their mind. They figure out where they want to move to. But I think Coach Vogel is a great coach. And I think he should be there and stuck there. He's proven that to do so. And, you know, it's just tough figuring it out. So with certain guys, a lot of guys do a lot of the same things there. You know, so it's hard to put them in their strengths, or you can't make guys make shots. You can't make guys not turn the ball over. You can't make guys play defense. And those are three major things that you need to win a basketball game. So yeah, that's a tough deal for him. You know, I hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, I appreciate the tweets. It's good to have that.
Before we get out of here, as we talked about the Frank Vogel news and the reported impending firing that could happen depending on how he performs as a head coach and how the team performs on the court, brings me to one of the best coaches of all time, one Greg Popovich. When you play them on Sunday, you'll get to see him. You get to say your highs. You get to think about the good old times, which makes me wonder, is there a story that sticks out to you from your Greg Popovich experience? I'm sure you have many of them, but one that
Yes.
comes to mind.
The reason why this one came to mind, I mentioned to you guys earlier, big shout out to Charlie Brown, was because Pop was always giving guys like that an opportunity and seeing what they can do. He'll throw guys in the fire with the quickness. Charlie Brown's been playing great for us, great defense. Given the situation scenario with a lot of guys being out, guys on 10 days are getting opportunities, guys from the G League getting opportunities. But Pop, even without COVID, before injuries, if you called somebody up or if he brought you on the team, whether you're there for a 10-day or not, or signed for a season, you better believe that he was throwing them in the fire within the first 2 or 3 games that they were there. And did that to me. Luckily, that's how I got my opportunity. But I do recall this one time when we were playing Houston, James Harden was there. I think some guys might have been out or hurt, or he was experimenting. It might have been preseason. But we had my guy there, Spoon, Wesley Witherspoon. Played at Memphis. He was with us for a short stay. And, he hadn't announced the starting lineup yet at this point. Right before we were about to bring it in, we watched film. We're about to bring it in for a huddle. He goes up, starting lineup. Spoon, Wesley Witherspoon, you're starting, and you're guarding James Harden. We bring it in, 1, 2, 3, hard work or defense. So before you go out there, make sure you clean that shit up underneath your chair. Basically implying that when he told him he started, he gave a face that he crapped himself, and it was underneath his pants, underneath his chair. And, Pop, even though he was a serious guy, always made jokes like that, which made him hilarious. He was a comedian. It's hard to take serious, except for when on the court, when he's cussing you out. But off the court, great grandpa, really nice. He says, give Blair my love, give her a big hug, makes his jokes nonstop. And, that's just how he was to lighten the mood. And he would always, do that with the younger guys. So it was pretty funny.
Pop got jokes. Pop got jokes and Pop's got rings. Looking forward to watching you this weekend as you play against them. I probably going to have that game on DVR because it's playoff football time. You know how it goes, Danny. Forgive me for not watching your game live. I've watched too much already. Until next time on Inside the Green Room. See you guys next week.
Read, rate, subscribe, review. Chip.